Hello everyone. Welcome to Kansas Future. Today, we're on a mission to figure out how our team can keep making history, maybe even achieve something the NFL has never seen before. 3 consecutive Super Bowl victories. Sounds like a dream, right? But for this to happen, the Chiefs need to overcome challenges both on and off the field. Let me ask you, do you believe the Chiefs are ready for this historic challenge? Renowned analysts from Bleacher Report have made some bold suggestions about what we need to adjust now and in the future. Among their ideas are strategies to manage Travis Kelce's workload, a potential defensive reinforcement in 2025, and even targeting a new wide receiver in the draft. What could all of this mean for the present and future of our dynasty? Curious? Then before we dive in, smash that like button, because your support is essential to keeping this channel growing and delivering exclusive content for you. Let's have this conversation together. After all, we're all part of Chiefs Kingdom. Now, let's get to it. 2024 season. A critical look at the present. Let's start with the present reality. The Chiefs suffered their first loss of the season against the Bills. It shook things up a bit, but stay calm, Kingdom. We still hold the best record in the league. However, that game raised an important question. Are we asking too much of our key players? Here's where the discussion gets critical. Travis Kelce. Analysts from Bleacher Report have suggested the Chiefs urgently need to reduce Kelce's workload to prolong the health and productivity of our star tight end, who is now 35 years old. Kelce's snap count in 2024 is around 82%, his highest since 2021. That's incredible considering his age, but it's also risky. These analysts argue that Kelce's monstrous playoff performance last season was largely due to strategic rest during Week 18. So, here's the big question. Is it worth sacrificing his regular season workload to ensure he's in peak form for the postseason? The problem lies in how to take pressure off Kelce without compromising the offense. With injuries to wide receivers like Rashee Rice and Marquise Hollywood Brown, most of the responsibility has fallen on Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. While the arrivals of DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster have helped, is it enough? That's the challenge. Who else on the roster could step up to relieve Kelce's burden? Let me know in the comments. On the flip side, managing Kelce's workload clashes with another reality: our ambition to win every game. It's easy to talk about resting players, but in the heat of battle, can we really afford not to use our biggest playmaker when the game is on the line? Something to think about as we move forward. Looking to the future, Bobby Wagner in Kansas City. Now, let's fast forward a bit to 2025. Bleacher Report floated an idea that's dividing opinions: bringing Bobby Wagner to Kansas City to strengthen the defense. Yes, the veteran linebacker, currently excelling in Washington, has been mentioned as a potential strategic acquisition for the Chiefs. Why Wagner? It's simple: experience, leadership, and immediate impact. Even at 35, Wagner remains one of the best linebackers in the league. He combines tactical intelligence, play reading ability, and a winning mindset, all qualities defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo values highly in his players. The logic behind this idea is clear. Wagner could provide the defense with the stability and leadership needed to dominate in 2025 and beyond. But this raises another question. Is investing in a veteran player the right move for a team aiming to stay competitive long-term? With the salary cap tightening, the Chiefs will likely face challenges in re-signing stars like Nick Bolton. In this scenario, investing in a veteran like Bobby Wagner, who might take a pay cut to chase another ring, makes sense. He'd be a temporary replacement, but a very high-quality one. However, not everything is sunshine and roses. Betting on a 35-year-old linebacker is risky. The position is physically demanding, and there's always the chance of a decline in performance. This raises a big question. Would Wagner be enough to keep the defense at the elite level we've seen this season? Or would it be better to invest in younger players, even if it takes time for them to develop? Another interesting point is how Wagner would fit into Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme. Spags loves smart and versatile linebackers, but he also prioritizes energy and explosiveness. Does Wagner still have those traits? It's something to think about. Of course, I want your opinion. Would you like to see Bobby Wagner at Arrowhead, fighting for a Super Bowl with us? Or do you think we should look for other options in the market? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. 2025. Draft. A new piece for the offense. Now, let's talk about the draft. Bleacher Report suggested that the Chiefs should target Emeka Egbuka, a wide receiver from Ohio State. For those unfamiliar with him, Egbuka is a technical player with reliable hands and precise route running. He's been compared to players like Jackson Smith-Njigba and Amon-Ra St. Brown. In other words, someone who could be consistent and productive. Why should the Chiefs consider this? The truth is, since trading Tyreek Hill, Our wide receiver room has been inconsistent. We've tried to bolster the group with draft picks like Rashee Rice and Sky Moore, but injuries and the transition to the NFL level have been challenging. Bleacher Report argues that bringing in Egbuka would help stabilize the group. He wouldn't need to be a WR1 right away. Just his consistency would give Patrick Mahomes more options and reduce the offense's reliance on Travis Kelce. That said, investing in the draft is always a gamble. Not every first-round pick turns into a star, but when you hit on one, the payoff is massive, especially in terms of cost-effectiveness. That's why I believe continuing to invest in young wide receivers is a valid strategy. Once again, I want to hear from you. Would Emeka Egbuka be a good pick for the Chiefs, or do you have someone else in mind for the draft? Let's exchange ideas in the comments below. A reflection on the dynasty. Before we wrap up, let's reflect on what all of this means for the Chiefs as an organization. We're in a unique position in NFL history. We have a legendary quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, a brilliant coach in Andy Reid, and a front office that knows how to build winning teams. But as we've discussed, maintaining a dynasty requires tough decisions. Managing Kelce's workload, bringing in veterans like Wagner, or investing heavily in wide receivers through the draft are just a few of the choices we'll need to make. Each of these decisions comes with risks and rewards. At the end of the day, what really matters is that the Chiefs continue to innovate and adapt. That's what has made us the best team in the NFL in recent years, and that's what will keep us on top. Is Patrick Mahomes having the worst season of his career because of his statistics? Today we're going to discuss Patrick Mahomes and whether his statistical decline this season will impact the Chiefs' performance come playoff time. Mahomes' stats Chiefs Kingdom. If you've been following the national media lately, you've likely heard criticisms of Patrick Mahomes. Many are claiming he's having a down year statistically and isn't the same quarterback we're used to seeing. If you're solely looking at the numbers, you might think they have a point. However, football is about much more than just statistics. While Mahomes' numbers may not jump off the page, that doesn't mean he isn't having a quietly great season. So far in 2024, Patrick Mahomes has 1,651 passing yards, which ranks 16th in the NFL, 8 passing touchdowns, tied for 16th, 9 interceptions, a stat that has drawn significant attention. For the first time in his career, Mahomes has more interceptions than touchdown passes. Naturally, this has raised eyebrows. Many in the national media, except for Nick Wright, have criticized him for turning the ball over too much and failing to rack up his usual impressive stats. But let me tell you, Chiefs Kingdom, it's okay. If anyone out there is saying that Patrick Mahomes is washed or no longer an elite quarterback, stop it. Just stop it. He's absolutely still one of the best in the game. In fact, I'd argue, as Alex Smith recently said, that he's playing some of the best football of his career. It's just not reflected in the stats. Mahomes has been clutch when it matters most. In the fourth quarter, he's been lights out. I'd argue he's been the best quarterback in football when it counts. And when does it matter most? The fourth quarter. And guess what? The Chiefs are still undefeated. At 7-0, they have a chance to improve to 8-0 against a struggling Buccaneers team on Monday Night Football. Even if Mahomes leads the team to 8-0, critics will likely still harp on his statistical dip. Yes, if you're looking at the numbers alone, you could argue he's having the worst season of his career. But let's take a broader view. Context matters. The Chiefs are in the middle of chasing a historic three-peat. This season, they've faced significant challenges. They've lost their top 3 wide receivers to injury. Their starting running back is out. Despite these setbacks, they remain undefeated. Mahomes deserves immense credit for keeping the team afloat and finding ways to win. The Chiefs' success this season has relied heavily on their defense, arguably the best in football, and a surprisingly effective running game, led by Kareem Hunt. These changes in strategy naturally affect Mahomes' stats, but that doesn't diminish his contributions. Let's not forget that the Chiefs have never started 7-0 with Mahomes under center. While the defense deserves a lot of credit for this streak, Mahomes has been a crucial factor in their success. The bottom line, Patrick Mahomes is facing unfair criticism. He's won back-to-back Super Bowls, consistently proved he can deliver in high-pressure moments, and is leading an undefeated team.